Hello, in this video we're going to be looking at compound interest and depreciation. So the objective here is to calculate compound growth and depreciation using multipliers and powers. So the key idea, interest is when money grows over time. So when interest is compound, it grows by a percentage of the new amount every year. So here's an example, £1,000 is invested at 5% compound interest. We need to find the amount invested after 3 years. So to do this, what we need to do is first work out 5% of 1,000 and then add it on. But what we could do is just increase 1,000 by 5% by first working out the decimal multiplier. So the original is always 100% and we're gaining 5% each year. So after every year we have 105% of the original, and as a decimal that is 1.05. So that is our multiplier. So what we do to find the amount after the first year is we multiply 1,000 by 1.05. So that is going to give us 1,050. So after the first year, we have 1,050. So then for the second year, what we do is we take 1,050 and we multiply that by 1.05. So if we do that, we end up with £1,102.50 after the second year. So then the third year, I'm going to multiply this new amount by 1.05. So in the third year, we're going to do £1,102.50 times 1.05, and that's going to give us £1,157.63. So that means after 3 years, it's worth £1,157.63. So you can see in the first year, the money went from £1,000 to £1,050. So we gained £50. But then in the second year, it went from £1,050 to £1,102.50. So we actually gained £52.50. And then in the third year, we went from £1,102.50 to £1,157.63. So in the third year, our money actually grew by £55.13. So over time, the more money that we have, the more interest that accumulates. So that's the difference between simple interest and compound interest. With simple interest, it grows by the same amount each year. With compound interest, it grows by more if your money is growing over time. So another way we could have done this question is we could have simply done 1,000 times 1.05 to the power of 3, because that's what we effectively did. We multiplied by 1.05 3 times because we were finding the total amount after 3 years. So if I just type that into my calculator, I get £1,157.63, and that's all in one step. So here's another example. So a car is worth £12,000 and it depreciates by 18% per year. We need to find the amount after 4 years. So to do this, we're going to first find the decimal multiplier. So we always start off with 100%, but this time we're depreciating, so decreasing by 18% per year. So we need to get rid of 18%, so we're left with 92%. So every year, the amount is worth 92% of the amount that we have at the beginning of the year. So we're going to do this time 12,000 times 0.92, because the decimal multiplier is going to be 0.92. And because it's 4 years, we're going to raise this to the power of 4. And the answer is going to be £8,596.72. Here's another example. So this time it says an investment is worth £363 after 2 years at 10% compound interest. Find the original amount it was invested. So this time it's telling us the final amount and we need to work out the original amount. If it was 2 years at 10% compound interest, the decimal multiplier is going to be 100% plus 10%, which is 110%. So 110% as a decimal is going to be 1.1. So what we do is we take the original and we times it by 1.1 to the power of 2 because it's for 2 years. So when we did that, we got the final amount, which was £363. So working backwards to find the original, all we do is divide by 1.1 squared, because the opposite of timesing by 1.1 squared is dividing by 1.1 squared. So if I call the original x, to work out what x is, we're going to do 363 divided by 1.1 squared, and the answer to that is £300. So the amount originally invested was £300. Here's another example. So we have £1,500 is invested at 3.2% compound interest for 4 years. Find the final amount. So the multiplier here, we're going to do 100% plus 3.2%. So that's going to be 103.2%. And as a decimal, that's 1.032. So I take the original, so that's 1,500, and I times it by 1.032, and it's for 4 years, so I do to the power of 4, and the answer to that is going to be £1,701.41. Here's another example. So a phone costs £900 and it depreciates by 25% each year. Find its value after 6 years. So if it's depreciating by 25% each year, we always start off with 100% and we're getting rid of 25% each year. So we end up with 75%. So that's 0.75 as a multiplier. So we start off with £900 and we times that by 0.75, and we want to find the value after 6 years. So it's to the power of 6. So that is going to be £160.18. Here's an exam style question on this topic. So we have £2,000 is invested for 4 years. Option A is 7% compound interest. Option B is a slightly higher percentage, so it's 8% simple interest. So we need to find the option that gives the greatest final amount. So if we work out option A first, if it's simple interest, we have to find the multiplier. So it's 100% plus 7%. So that's 107%. And as a decimal, that's 1.07. So if we have £2,000 and it's invested for 4 years, we're going to times 1.07 to the power of 4. And that's going to give us £2,621.59. So that's option A. Now option B is 8% simple interest. So to do this, we're going to work out what 8% of 2,000 is. So 8% of 2,000, we could work that out by doing 0.08 times 2,000. So that is going to be £160. So it gains £160 per year. So after 4 years, 160 times 4 is £640. So in total, it's going to be worth £2,640 after 4 years. So you can see the one that has the most interest is option B, because it's grown to £2,640 as opposed to £2,621. So option B in this case gives the greatest final amount. So here are some quickfire practice questions on this topic. Pause the video, have a go at these, and I'll reveal the answers in a moment. Okay, so well done if you managed to have a go at those. So here are the answers, and that's everything for this video. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again in another video. Bye!